Out to my co-anchor Taylor Hemnes out at Children's Mercy Park, where today's funeral will be. Taylor, good morning.
Lindsay, good morning. Deputy Ming is the first Wyandotte County deputy to be killed in the line of duty since 2018, with deputies Rohrer and King, who were killed back in 2018 in the summer of that year. So this is obviously a situation that they've not seen very often, thankfully, here in Wyandotte County, but they are prepared to celebrate and say goodbye to Deputy Ming with that public funeral here today at 11 o'clock at Children's Mercy Park. Let me run you through some of the logistics of what you need to know of this funeral. It starts at 11 o'clock this morning. We know that there are going to be several Wyandotte County offices that are closed today. Some government offices are going to be closed today. We know the governor has already said that flags will be at half staff during this celebration and funeral today, so keep that in mind. Parking lots to the stadium open around 9 o'clock this morning, then gates open at 10 o'clock. But as we mentioned several times this morning, anyone can come and take part in this funeral. You are welcome to attend the public portion of that. There is a private portion during the burial part of the ceremony, but the funeral itself is open to the public this morning. Now, as for the procession that will happen after the funeral today, we're also going to cover that live on KSHP 41. Let's show you how this will kind of wind through after it leaves Children's Mercy Park. East on France Family Drive, south on Village West Parkway, taking east on State Avenue, south on 435, east on I-70, north on North 7th Street, west on State, and ending at that private burial service that I mentioned a little bit ago. As we mentioned before, you are welcome to come out and line some of the portions of that procession. It's going to go for about an hour or so after the funeral ends here this morning. That will start at 11 o'clock. The funeral is expected to take maybe a couple of hours, and that procession will begin about a half an hour after that. I want to bring in my colleague Grant Stevens, who's live with me here this morning, to continue our conversation about who Deputy Ming was. We've had a couple of weeks now to try and learn a little bit more about this man. That's the thing about law enforcement, is they are often in the background a little bit doing their job, and we don't get to know the men and women behind the badge, unfortunately, until something like this happens.
What's unique about Deputy Ming, though, is he was a man who lived very brightly in the foreground. We've heard so much from people who didn't just know him from a law enforcement side, but knew who he was as a person. So that's why we want to take a couple minutes this morning to remember who Deputy Ming was as a person through the voices who knew him. You remember, we've gone to a couple different vigils and balloon releases. We have heard from a lot of people who knew him, and a consistent theme through all of that is how bright his personality and smile was. But we've also heard he was quite the athlete, too. We've talked to some former teammates and coaches about how he was on the track field and on the baseball field. And they say that his motivation in those two places carried right through to his motivation in law enforcement. That commitment was felt in both places. But here's how some of his friends and family will be remembering him today.
And Elijah was a bright star. When he walked in the room, he pretty much lit up the room with his smile.
His smile was like really big. Anytime he smiled, it's funny. It was just funny.
He was a good person, and he was an honorable man, and he did a darn good job serving and protecting.
Yeah, so when we go through those details about everything that's going to be happening today, you'll see some of those things on TV later today. Yeah. I want people to keep in the back of their mind who Deputy Ming was as a person as we're seeing all of these images and hearing all of these things.
I think it will be pretty evident, especially when we see the number of people who show up from the community and get to hear about this man. That will be a celebration as much as it is a goodbye. Grant Stevens live with me this morning. Grant, thank you very much.